Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be covering how to pick the best weapon that best suits you. And in today's video, we'll be visiting our friends at truegamedata.com. For those that aren't familiar with this site, it's a must visit for any Warzone fan. They do a tremendous job of breaking down every stat for every attachment for every weapon in Warzone. I'll link the site in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. Now in this video, we will be focusing on long-range weapons. In this chart right here, you'll see what I think are the best long-range options to use in Warzone right now. I did an entire video breaking down each of these weapons already, so be sure to check those out if you haven't already. So when you're picking your weapon, the one that fits you best will differ from person to person. You see the time to kill charts here, but TTK doesn't mean anything if you're missing shots. If you are a skilled player, then you certainly want to be using the weapons with the fastest time to kill. But if you prefer the lower recoil options to be sure you're hitting all your shots, then I will show you the best options to use. A common mistake I see is people getting too tied to a particular weapon and sticking with it through every nerf. The focus is too much on the kills you get with it instead of the deaths because of it. Every single gun will kill somebody, but it doesn't mean you should be using it. Maybe you outpositioned your opponent, maybe your movement was great, or maybe they just flat out sucked. So don't focus as much on the kills, focus on the deaths when choosing your weapon. I'm gonna compare 3 of the better options with 3 of the commonly overused guns that are heavily used, but people probably shouldn't be using them. First, you see the AMAX versus the Bruen. Now there's a massive difference in time to kill between these two. Can a person using a Bruen kill a person with an AMAX? Absolutely. But you'll have to get a jump on them. A Bruen and an AMAX going head to head where both people see each other at the same time and both land shots, the AMAX is going to win 100% of the time. Next we have the Ram and the Grau, and you can see there's a pretty big gap here as well. You have to outmaneuver your opponent to win the fight against a top tier weapon if you are using the Grau, and that simply will not happen all the time. You want to give yourself the best possible chance to win those 50-50 gunfights, and the Grau simply won't do it for you. Now we move to the old reliable Kilo, and I even stacked this against a gun that's not in my top 5 just to show how bad the Kilo actually is since all the nerfs. Now in defense of the PKM, it's a really good gun and probably should be in my top 5. But nonetheless, the Kilo is a gun that should be retired, but people can't seem to put it down. I get so many comments in my videos and people jumping into my stream and saying, "Oh, the Kilo's back, the Grau's back." No, those guns absolutely are not back. It's just you're comfortable using them. Those guns haven't changed. They've been pretty bad and they've been pretty bad for a while. Nothing changed with them. They aren't back. So I know what people say. I just hit more shots with the Kilo, Grau, and Bruen than I can with the AMAX or Ram. And that's perfectly fine. What I would say to those people is either do one of 2 things. Number 1, learn to manage the recoil on the fastest killing guns. If you do, you will notice you are winning more gunfights. And number 2, if you just aren't comfortable with an AMAX or a Ram, then there are other low recoil options to use that will still give you a better chance to win gunfights than the Grau and Kilo. The M4A1 and the Krig 6 both have very low recoil and both kill faster than these other options. Now I just need to tell you that at the time I made this video, the AMAX was not yet nerfed. But now that you're watching it, the AMAX has been nerfed. So the TTK chart is going to be slightly off for the AMAX, but it hasn't changed that much, and the point that I'm trying to make in this video still very much stands. If you liked the video or learned something new, please help me out by hitting the like and subscribe button. I'll have a ton more Warzone content coming your way. As always, thanks for watching Egu Gaming.